So, what if you could just replace teachers with AI? Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, a new school is doing exactly that, and they're charging a crazy amount of money for it. But the big question is this the future of education or just a really dangerous experiment? Let's dive in and find out.
But before we get into all that, if you're into staying ahead of the curve on tech and how it's changing our world, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what we're covering next.
Okay, so this whole story, this, I don't know, revolution in education, it really starts with one number: $65,000. That's what it costs per year to go to this new private school called Alpha. And here's the crazy part. For that 65 grand, you get a spot at a school with zero homework, no report cards, and, get this, absolutely no teachers.
I mean, this is a super radical Silicon Valley-backed experiment, and it really makes you stop and think, is this what the future of school is going to look like? All right, let's start with the promise, the big sales pitch. We're talking about Alpha School, founded by Mackenzie Price. She's built this whole thing on a pretty utopian vision of, super efficient learning. The goal? To completely disrupt what she calls a poisoned traditional school system.
And the core claim she makes is, well, it's incredibly bold. She says Alpha can teach students twice as fast as regular schools. Think about that for a second. That's the entire foundation of this model. So you're probably wondering, how on earth do they back that up? Well, they point to the data. The school claims that students, from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, are consistently scoring in the top 1 to 2% on MAP testing. And that's a standardized test used all over the US to see how kids are doing academically.
So this is basically the whole pitch they give to parents. No report cards. Instead, it's all about students taking charge of their own learning. They market the school with these amazing stories of 10-year-olds who are successful Airbnb managers or teens starting their own apps. And yeah, it definitely doesn't hurt when you've got endorsements from people like billionaire Bill Ackman and the former education secretary, Linda McQuillan.
Okay, so that's the promise. Now let's get into the how. How does this actually work day to day? What does learning on hyperdrive even look like? And when you put it side by side with a traditional school, man, the differences are just night and day. Instead of 6 or 7 hours of classes with a human teacher, Alpha kids spend just 2 hours on AI apps. The teacher role is replaced by something they call a guide, and the rest of the day, it's filled with life skill workshops. We're talking rock climbing or even building IKEA furniture. This isn't just a tweak, it's a total rewrite of the school day. So what exactly is a guide? Well, they're not teachers in the way we think of them. They're more like mentors. A lot of them come from backgrounds in sports coaching or tech startups, and they're paid really well, about 150 grand a year. Their job isn't to teach you fractions, it's to keep you motivated. And this quote from a guide named Liam Stanton really sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. He says, "I'm not there to try to teach them fractions or capitals. I'm there to help them find ways to find answers themselves." I mean, that's a fundamental shift in what the adult in the room is supposed to be doing. So all the core stuff, math, science, history, it all gets squeezed into this super structured 2-hour block. They use what's called the Pomodoro method. You go hard for 25 minutes, take a short break, and then repeat. The whole idea is to max out your focus and just be as efficient as possible. But okay, what happens if a kid gets stuck? You can't just raise your hand and ask a teacher. Instead, they jump on a video call with a remote expert that Alpha calls a scholar. And here's a really important detail. Most of these scholars don't even live in the US. They're in places like the Philippines or Colombia. Okay, so this model there's no denying it. It's disruptive. But efficiency like this almost always comes at a price. So let's flip the coin now and look at the serious pushback and what the potential human cost of this whole experiment really is. And this quote from Joe Versalino, a Detroit Teacher of the Year, is powerful. He says, "I believe it's dangerous to wipe teachers from classrooms." That right there, that's the central fear that so many teachers and parents have about a model like this. And if you want to see that fear made real, look no further than the pods. We're talking about these tiny phone booth-style boxes where some of the students do their 2 hours of work. A video of these things went totally viral, and people on social media just exploded, calling the setup terrifying and inhuman. But the criticism goes way beyond just the pods. You have psychologists and educators warning about some really serious mental health risks, like more social anxiety or even depression. And then there are the social risks, missing out on crucial human development on building relationships. What happens to the rest of the school experience? Sports, arts, school counselors. And of course, there's the big one, screen addiction, and just the deep isolation that comes from learning from an app instead of a real person.
So what we have here are two totally different stories, right? On one hand, you have the promise of insane efficiency. On the other, the danger of human disconnection. So is this really the next big thing in education? Let's try to weigh it all out.
This really lays out the core conflict, doesn't it? The promise versus the peril. The promise is you learn twice as fast, it's totally personalized, it makes you independent. But the peril is real. Social isolation, screen addiction, no expert teachers in the room to guide you. And let's not forget, with a $65K price tag, you have to ask who this is even for. That's a massive equity issue. Now, this is pretty interesting. When it comes to the screen addiction argument, Alpha has a defense. They point to data that shows their 120 minutes of screen time for academics isn't that much more than the US average in regular schools, which is already at 98 minutes a day. It's a fair point, but you gotta wonder if it's missing the bigger picture. And look, we have to hear from the students who've actually been through this system. This is a quote from Wade Driscoll, who graduated from Alpha. He said, "In public school, I felt really held back. There was an immediate shift at Alpha." So for some kids, the ones who feel bored or stuck in the traditional system, this model can feel like a total game changer. Wade's experience really shows that for certain students, the Alpha model could be a lifeline. But it also brings up the billion-dollar question. Is this something that could ever work for everyone? I mean, Alpha School is a super high-stakes experiment. It's all about efficiency, personalization, and technology. It promises incredible results for a very high price, but maybe, just maybe, at the cost of human connection. So the question this leaves us with isn't really just about Alpha School. It's a question for all of us. What is the right price for progress?